Hello, this is Thomas K4SWL. If you're new here, I'd like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today I'm at South Mountain State Park here in western North Carolina. I'm actually at the equestrian parking area. I've been out here one time before. I did an activation out here once before, I think almost a year ago, if memory serves. It's a great spot, actually, to do an activation. I think the only people ever use these picnic tables are probably amateur radio operators, because I think this is the one place in the park where you have a shot at getting cell phone reception. I haven't looked to even see if I have it today, because I did schedule this activation. I'm sort of taking up two picnic tables. I put my line all here, and I'll tell you why I did that. Since no one's using this table, and I don't expect they will for a while, it's almost 11 this morning. If I see people coming out and they want to use a table, then I'll just move all this under the tree over there. But I put it here because this 2mm line, I love it. I really love this. You've probably noticed this is what I primarily use these days because it packs away so nicely. The only negative is when it's on the ground, it can pick up sticks and leaves and all kinds of things, and you have to pull those out as you're doing it. It is more prone to do that than the thicker polyline cable, or throw line, not cable. But I'm good with that. So what I did was I stuck it up here on the picnic table so I know when I pull it out and everything, it won't get caught on anything. I am using today my PackTenna 20-meter end-fed half wave. I didn't show deploying this or anything. It's just a standard deployment. Very, very easy to do. I picked it because this is a very short tree. I don't know if you can tell it here or not, but this is a short tree. It's about the right size for a 20-meter end-fed half wave, and I'm hoping that 20 meters is behaving today. The timing's good for 20 meters, so let's just try to do this whole activation on 20 meters if we can. I love this PackTenna. I love the built-in winder. This actually, a lot of people don't realize this, but a PackTenna can cope with up to 100 watts of output power. Look on their website, but I believe it can do that. It has a pretty big toroid on here that can dissipate heat, so you can actually use this with a lot more power than QRP power if you want to, but I can primarily see this as a QRP antenna. I don't have any counterpoises hooked up to it. It's just using this short piece of RG316 that I just repaired accidentally when doing an antenna experiment. I broke off the BNC on the end, and so I put a new BNC on here, and it seems to be working just fine. And today is a special day because, well, first of all, you can't tell now, it's beautiful out here, but we had the remnants of Hurricane Nicole move through here, so we've had 2 days of really heavy rain, and today it's clearing off, and I think tonight the temperature is going to drop back down to winter temperatures. But it's a special day because I have a new radio, a new-to-me radio. Actually, it's not even really a new-to-me radio. Let me explain. In this pouch, I have a radio I have never, ever, ever put on the air. I've never made one contact with it, but I've owned it for nearly a year. Let me show you. This is the TEN-TEC 2-band model R4020 CW transceiver. Now, as the model number implies, this is a 40-meter, 20-meter transceiver. It's CW only. Very, very simple controls. You can see here you got an encoder that has detents in it. You can hear that as I move it around. It has an AF gain control. There's no RF gain. It has a power switch, a mechanical power switch. Antenna input, a little dust. The paddle goes in here. The headphones go in here. I'll be hooking it up to a speaker today, and hopefully the headphone amplification's enough that my amplified speaker will work with this. I'm pretty sure it will because I think it's probably headphone level audio. And so I'll tell you the story on this. I, first of all, was a really big fan of TEN-TEC gear, still am. I love TEN-TEC. I think their gear was just amazing. Unfortunately, the company's effectively not around anymore. It was purchased a couple times. They closed the factory in Sevierville, Tennessee, and I think I heard a few months ago that the current owner has pretty effectively closed it down. They're not even doing repairs. I don't think they're making any new equipment. But TEN-TEC was a wonderful, wonderful company. And I used to know them all very well. I used to do product evaluations for them and beta testing before things were released. And they're just a top-notch operation. The R4020 kind of flew under the radar for me back in the day. I think these were produced, and someone can correct me, I think these were sold by TEN-TEC in the early, like 2010, 2012 timeframe, I think, if memory serves. These were not actually made by TEN-TEC. They were made by, I believe, a company called UKITS. I think they're based in Hong Kong. I really can't remember at this point, so don't quote me on any of that. But TEN-TEC didn't make these directly. They imported them and branded them, and generally received very good comments from people, and they were the most affordable products probably TEN-TEC sold, other than a few of their Arduino-based transceivers that they had that were CW only. Well, I had one of those at least. I can't remember if it was a Patriot or, gosh, it's been so long since I beta tested both of those. They had an SSB one and a CW one, I believe, and I beta tested both of them. Yeah, so this kind of flew underneath the radar. And so what happened was, a good 10 to 12 months ago, I believe, I was just perusing the classifieds section of QTH.com, which you should never do if you're not looking for anything. Because you'll make impulse purchases like this. And someone was selling it for, I can't remember if it was $100 or $120 shipped. But I thought, well, what the heck, let's get this and see what it's all about. So I purchased it, and it was from someone fairly local. So it was only, you know, the ham was only in Shelby, North Carolina, which is not too far from where I live, near Asheville, North Carolina. So it was it's almost like it was a local ham. But he shipped it to me, and I got it. And the problem was, and the reason I haven't taken this out before, is because I received it when I had a lot of products on my table for evaluation. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to stick this on the shelf, and I'll get to it after I finish all these product evaluations and reviews I'm working on. And what happened was, I just kind of forgot about it, being really honest. It was an impulse purchase. I got it. The only thing I did was hook it up to a battery and make sure it turned on. I didn't even key up. I haven't made a contact or anything, but this supposedly was working when he shipped it to me, so I have no reason to believe it wouldn't work right now. The controls are very simple, and I don't know if I'm going to set a CQ call today or not. Not really sure if I'll do that or not. I think I may have a copy of yeah, I do have a copy of the owner's manual that he sent me. And I can maybe look and see some of the details here. We're doing this together. So, wow, cool. The receive, it's only pulling about 55 milliamps in receive. That's really, really reasonable for a radio. Very nice. And the receive range is from 5 megahertz to 16 megahertz continuous. That's really not bad. That's almost general coverage. Now, I don't know what it would sound like on this. It weighs a little less than a pound, and the supply voltage can be anywhere from 9 to 14 volts, which is great because I'm going to supply it with 13 point, probably 2 or 3 or 4 volts today. It has, let's see if the CQ is, just looking here. This is kind of fine. So yeah, it's a 40 meter and 20 meter one. We will only operate 20 meters today, though. I'm not going to use any save functions. I probably won't use RIT functions. Fortunately, TEN-TEC actually put together really nice instructions with their stuff in the past. So we've got an attenuator on here. So there's an IF bandwidth change control as well, which is a part of this ATT-IF. Yep, frequency locking, I won't need to do that. Automatic key function, automatic call CQ, lightly descend CQ, CQ, DE, and then your call sign 3 times, PSEK. I am probably not going to even set that then, because I won't use the CQ for this. I don't want my CQ to be so long. It'll just be easier for me to send it manually. But it tells how to enter your call sign here, and yeah. So it has actually a little power output display. It shows what the voltage is. That's really good. That'll come in handy. What else here? Tuning with paddles. Okay, you can do that too. I don't think I'll need to do that. And make sure that you're... And here's the schematic for the radio. Very nice. Okay, cool. That's all I need to know. I'll be good with just using my battery here. This has a standard plug on it, basically the same kind of plug Elecrafts use, so I've got plenty of those. This is a very affordable radio. Now, here's the thing about, I tell people about CW, you don't ever have to learn CW to be a ham. I mean, don't ever let anyone tell you that. CW is just one other sort of fun mode that we can do. That you can do voice modes, digital, analog, single sideband, digital modes, a whole host of those. And you know, CW is just like one of those modes. I happen to prefer CW. I love CW. And when you learn CW, one of the really cool things is it unlocks the potential to purchase or build some very, very affordable radios. Even when this was new, I don't think it was much more than $200, maybe $240 or something. And I purchased this for, like I said, $100 or $120. I can't remember now. And so hopefully this will get me on the air and, you know, be able to do some, make some contacts here. Let's make sure the power is off. I'm guessing that's off. It doesn't really say. Let's see. Yeah, it's off. I guess it would have turned on by now. Maybe I can get the battery to prop this up, or I'll use my little pack here. And let's see if I can grab the antenna and hook it up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to probably let down the antenna a little bit so it's not quite as high as it is right now. I'll give it a yank and pull it down. Let's see the phone. So this is for the speaker here. And now the key paddle. I'll pull this out and run it around the radio here. Boy, I hope this works after all this setup. We'll find out together, right? Turn on my speaker. I think it's on. Well, that's a good sign. Ooh, very good sign. Okay, I don't know if you can see this or not. This is a little hard to read. Okay, so it looks like it has about 4 different positions for the CWIF. Okay, I've got it set to 14061. Okay, let me pull the antenna down just a little bit. This won't take me but a second. Ooh, okay, I know what the side tone sounds like now. Let's see here. See what we can do. Okay, this is going to take me a little while to get used to this. Okay, I need to be a little quick to there we go. Okay, I've got to be a little quicker with my release there. Okay, let's set this up. Now, I scheduled this activation on the POTA site, so hypothetically, it should be in good shape here. I'm guessing this is outputting 5 watts. Maybe somebody saw that when I had this open. Let me get my pencil out. Hopefully I won't break too many leads today. Okay, so South Mountains. Today is the 12th of November 2022 and 20 meters CW. And it's oh gosh, what is it? K27. Look back at some of my previous logs here. It's probably easier than me looking it up from my app right now. 2753, K2753. I think I'm not going to live log with my, I think I'm not going to live log with hammers this time. Mainly just to give me a little more opportunity to play radio and pay attention to what I'm doing here. Let's see. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 1,600 hours right now. I really want this not to be rolling around here. I did it again, okay. Okay, that sounded pretty good. Has pin diode switching too. There's no collecting relays or anything. We're really going old school here because I'm not even checking my spots. Let's see if the reverse beacon network's working. If I have cell phone coverage. I do barely have cell phone coverage, so let's see. Taking some pictures while I remember. So it'll take me a bit to get used to this keying. Uh-oh, they got a key hang up. Take your time. That's okay. Take your time. I know you got to fix your key. This happens. I'm just giving them time to do it. I'm holding the frequency. Let me see. I think we're all having keying issues today. Is that right? Was that right? Gotcha. .229 in Kansas, I think. No, Missouri. Okay. Okay, let me think. Is that right? Okay, that's right. Whoops, I'm gonna lose my LEDs. That's hard to hear. Is that right? He's really faded down there. Wonder if Brian's at a park. Whoops. Man, you can't have much more fun with $120 than this. This is really nice. I'm pleased with this radio. First Connecticut. Is that right? Okay, got him, got him. Did I get that right? I did have it right. Okay. Did I... Got him. He came up. Okay, wait, I've got something wrong here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, I do have it right here, 16. Sorry. Came up a little bit. We're both weak. The band's a little flaky this morning. Okay, I'm going to turn that off and call QRT. That was really fun. That was really fun, actually. So let's see how many we got in total here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Not bad for what? Gosh, 20-some minutes. Yeah, this is not bad at all. Actually, about 25 minutes, I guess, on the air. A really nice run. The band was a little flaky. I noticed that there were just more weaker signals. People that I usually hear with a little more signal strength on 20 meters they were a little down today. Like AI5DD Joe, I usually hear him like about at least a 559 or a little higher. He seemed just like a little shy of that. Kyle AA0Z also usually a little stronger than he was today. K9IS for sure was a lot weaker than he normally is. So the band's a little flaky, but and a little short. It looks like about as far west as what is the farthest west? Oklahoma? Think about Oklahoma, and we went up to Minnesota, up to New Jersey, and to Ontario. No Florida stations or anything, but, you know, hey. Now, this radio, what I think about it? Well, I don't know what you think about it. I'm evaluating the same. First of all, I'm happy it works. Since I had not tested this in advance, had not made a single contact. So who was my first contact? N9EDL was my very first contact with this transceiver. I do think this is a keeper. I like it. I haven't had a chance to really play around with it, you know, get used to this tuning. Some people don't like detents and the tuning knob. I don't really care for a field radio. It doesn't bother me at all. Screen's pretty easy to read. It's not too bad to read. There's like the UV coating or something on here. It was never difficult for me to read that. I didn't see an SWR meter on here. Maybe it has one I can engage. I'm guessing not. It does show power output and it does show signal strength, which is kind of nice. Of course, it had like, what was it, 4 different bandwidths, IF bandwidths. I could set. I didn't use the CQ because I didn't want to do that really long format CQ that it would do with 3 CQs and please and K at the end of it. That's just not common for POTA or SOTA or something. It's great for rag chewing and just for making a general CQ call. That's perfectly fine, but not for POTA. That would just be a little lengthy for that. So I wouldn't want to, people really get tired of waiting for me sending such a long CQ in between contacts. They just want to hear CQ, POTA, DEK4SWL, or whatever your call sign is. Didn't have to use RIT, but that's kind of handy to have in case you're working in a contest and need to use split or you're doing something kind of rare. I did notice that the side tone level seems to be tied to the AF gain, which is common in some of the lower price transceivers. They may not have a separate side tone control. Some of them you even adjust eternally. Like there's one, like the Venus SW3B, which I think is a great radio. It could even be by the same manufacturer, I'm not sure, but you can't really change the side tone control in it at all, period. It just kind of is stuck at what it is. The TR35, which I love a lot, is very similar in that the AF gain is tied to the side tone control. I think my TEN-TEC Argonaut 5 is the same way. So those, whenever you're working weak signals, you may end up riding the AF gain a little bit so that you're not having the side tone blast out at 100 decibels. You know, you may end up riding that a little bit, but I like how small it is. I mean, obviously it fits in this very small, this is a little Spec-Ops order pouch I've had for ages. I've probably had this well over a decade. Neat little pack. I've used it for a bunch of different radios and things. I just threw it in here because it was convenient. This is a great pouch, and what I really like about it is it has these straps on the back, so it'll connect to my pack over here with the MOLLE webbing on it. And so, you know, just a convenient pouch to put this in. But the radio itself, I have to say, I'm very pleased with this. I'm very pleased. And pulling only about 55 milliamps means that you could use a very modest battery with this. I wouldn't even need what I've got hooked up to this, which is a 3 amp hour 12 volt lithium iron phosphate battery from BioNO. These are pretty much my standard battery these days. I think I've purchased a number of, what, about 3 or 4 of these I have, because I have some in dedicated field kits. This just goes to show that you don't need a lot of money to have a lot of fun in the field. Now, one of my readers reached out recently after I posted a video of what I carry in my pack over here. And he actually brought up a really good point and something I should have mentioned in that video. And that is, you don't need a lot of money and you don't need a lot of gear to have fun in the field. You just don't. Especially, now my pack review, if I think about it, I'll link to it up here, my tour of what I carry in this pack normally. It includes a lot of things for doing long, lonely hikes. So I put emergency supplies. This pouch right here is full of emergency supplies that I would not need at a park like this, where I'm literally, my car is parked like so I gotta move this around, like right here behind me. So I don't really need anything other than what I have here, which is just the radio kit, because I usually keep a first aid kit in my car, and I would encourage you to always do that as well. But you can have a lot of fun. This was what, like I said, $100 or $120 used. I think when they were new, they were only a little over $200. There are a number of other radios like the QCX Mini, which I love. It's a monoband radio, so you can only use it with one band. But like today, I only used one band. I used 20 meters, and that worked perfectly fine. Yeah, so and the Venus SW3B, that's a $169 radio. You could also go with the True SDX, a TRU SDX. I love the concept of that radio. Love it. It's just not that fun to operate. This radio doesn't have like superb noise characteristics. Like the noise floor is maybe slightly higher than some of my others. It's actually not too bad. It's really not too bad. And I really need to listen to this with headphones to really know, to be honest. The band was a little noisy today in general, so maybe it's not that bad at all. But the True SDX is very affordable, but the audio in it is kind of rough. You'd almost need a separate DSP unit if you were operating it for long lengths of time. But it's a fun project range, really cool. This is actually a really nicely developed radio, and there's a UKITS version of this floating around out there. You can find these very affordably. I think if I used it a lot in the field, I'd pair it with my little memory keyer. In fact, next time I take it out, maybe I'll do that if I think about it, because it would just give you memory keying options other than just the set CQ. These had set CQs. The Venus SW3B only has one CQ, but you can actually rearrange that so that it doesn't send a general CQ, but I actually use it to send an exchange, the RR, thank you, 7.2s, all that, on my Venus SW3B. But you just don't need a lot of radio, especially if you're doing CW, in order to hop on the air and have a lot of fun. Now, if you're doing single sideband, those radios cost a bit more usually, but you can find some good used ones out there for an affordable price. You know, you don't have to have like a competition grade radio. People see me here, and I do worry that people see me with a wide variety of radios and things like the IC705, which is a very pricey radio. My KX3 is a pricey radio. My KX2 is a pricey radio. You don't have to have that in order to have fun. This was major fun today, and I did it on a budget, and you can too. So don't feel like you have to have that. I would tell you that if you're a CW operator and you only have one radio, which is mainly your shack radio that you sometimes take to the field, radios like these, look for them on the used market, and you can grab one and build a kit around it that'll fit in a pouch this size with your entire radio kit for, you know, $200 or something. For the little key, a little antenna you could maybe build. I could probably kit this whole thing out for less than $200 pretty easily. In fact, even less than that if I'm willing to build my own key or something, but I would suggest having a decent key with it. So anyway, and you know, this pocket paddle here from CW Morse, if you've been watching my videos lately, you'll notice I've been bringing this to the field when I have a picnic table, because I do agree it's a little nicer keying. I think I'd key more accurately when I have a base and I'm not having to hold the paddle like I do when I'm doing a SOTA activation or a trail side activation. So I'm willing to bring a little extra weight to the field with this, and these work really, really nicely for that. And these are pretty inexpensive, actually. You can get a set of these paddles for, I think, if memory serves, around $45. It doesn't include the base with that price, but they're very affordable for the pocket paddles, and they work great. I also have a set of MFJ paddles that come as a kit, and I think they're made of like some kind of pressed metal, and you put them together as a kit, and I think they're less than $30. I need to dig those out. I built some ages ago. I need to dig them out and give those a go again, because they would pair really nicely with a radio like this and keep everything really nice and cheap. So anyway, I better pack up and head on. I may possibly hit one more park on my way home today. I think I may do that. I think I've got just enough time. Maybe I'll go to Lake James today. Yeah, I'll have to give it some thought. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for coming along with me as I kind of figured out my way around this radio and put it on the air. I'm happy that it works. I'd enjoy your comments. If you own one of these, I'd love to know what you think about it. And as always, like I say, let's all treat each other with kindness. All we got on this old world's each other. And try to help out a fellow ham radio operator or someone that's interested in amateur radio. Take them to the field, show them how this stuff works in the field, or help them set up their shack antenna, their shack radio, whatever. If you're new and you're doing CW and you're watching my videos for CW practice, I'm really honored that you would even do that. Just keep up the faith. I promise you, CW just sinks into your mind over time, and you've got to be patient and let that process happen. If you are trying to figure out your way into CW and you want some support, I highly recommend the Long Island CW Club. They're a wonderful, supportive community. It's pretty affordable for all that you get with that particular group, so that club. So I would highly encourage you to do that. In fact, probably around the time this video is showing, I think I'm doing a presentation to the Portable Operating Forum within the Long Island CW Club. I think it's the early part of December, if memory serves. So anyway, thank you again for joining me today. Thank you so much to all of my Patreon and Coffee Fund supporters. I really appreciate that. As I mentioned in several previous videos and in my field reports, which you can find a link to below, I don't require any kind of support in terms of watching my stuff. It'll always be free. But on YouTube, even though I turned off monetization, YouTube still shows ads. I don't get that ad revenue or anything, but they still show ads. So what I've done is I've taken my Patreon funds and they help support a Vimeo channel, which allows me to make videos available to Patreon supporters through the Patreon site that links up to Vimeo. And you can watch the videos absolutely ad-free, and you can even download them free. So basically, that bandwidth's limited, so it's limited to the people who are paying for it, which are my Patreon supporters. But you don't have to do that. If you're saving for your first radio or whatever, just watch me on YouTube. It'll always be free there. And thank you so much again for joining me today. And until next time, take care, and 7 threes.